Female Mirror Master rumored for Flash film. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. Yes, once again, because it was already rumored that the Reverse Flash, the main arch villain of the Flash, would be gender swapped into a woman, possibly played by Jessica Chastain. Well, now here's another little tidbit rumored that not only would the Reverse Flash be gender swapped, but so would Mirror Master. I guess called Mirror Mistress? Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, the rumor comes from Scooper Daniel IRPK with no further info known. But yeah, it's possible in these days that something like this could happen. So, and plus, the CW show appears to have introduced a female Mirror Master in the character of Eva McCulloch. Yeah, because you see, in the comics, Mirror Master is Samuel Joseph Scudder or Evan McCulloch, with the Evan version being the more prominent of the two. You know, these things happen. People just sort of take the name of someone else. But with this, considering that it will be a take on Flashpoint, and this will involve alternate universe or alternate realities due to the Flash trying to change history and time, you would have different things. Like most notably, people would really hope that they have the Thomas Wayne version of Batman in this story, and there's been a rumor that they will actually have Aquaman and Wonder Woman battling it out, because that's part of the plot of the story, that Atlantis and the Amazons go to war. And so you could possibly have Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot appearing in the film for that very reason. Maybe even if it's only like in news footage or something, you know, but maybe so. Hey, if they really want to revive this whole DCEU thing, that's something that could go a long way to do it, besides also releasing a certain cut to HBO Max. But anyway, this is possible, and the idea of gender swapping could be a part of the plot in that matter, which I wouldn't really have that big of a problem with. But in this day and age, are you allowed to turn it back to the male characters once the universe is reset? Now, for the context, people who know the comics would know these characters are originally always male. And if you're doing this to say, well, things have changed, you haven't introduced these characters. Neither the movie version of Mirror Master or Reverse Flash has not been seen, and you don't have all that backstory. That'll be the weakest part for this movie to go forward and have the impact that it has. You have other DCEU movies, but nothing has really established the Flash's own story yet. And that was one of the big weaknesses of Batman versus Superman. In a lot of ways, it was doing something without having a setup, which it probably would have been much stronger had it had that. And so here, I don't know how you fit all that in. I suppose it could be sort of like the animated movie where there's a case happening at the opening and the Flash busts the Mirror Master and Reverse Flash or whatever, or Reverse Flash shows up. But that Reverse Flash is pivotal to the plot of the film. So the idea that the Reverse Flash changes into a woman because of the Flash's manipulation, that's not going to work. If you're going to cast a woman as Reverse Flash, then Reverse Flash is a woman in the DCEU, and that's it. As for Mirror Master, you could introduce the male version, and then he wakes up into this new universe after the Flash has changed everything, and then he finds out, well, everything's really different, including there's a woman as the Mirror Master now, that kind of thing. So that would work out. But as far as Reverse Flash being, I think that if they're really going to go with Jessica Chastain, then that's it. Reverse Flash is female because, well, So anyway, there might be something to this, and then again, maybe not. But it's interesting to note that there is a certain desire amongst DC fans and whatnot to see this movie. and as a means by which to reboot their DCEU within the narrative, and a movie like this could do that. And if they certainly have Jeffrey Dean Morgan reprise Thomas Wayne as the Batman of this film, then it would be quite interesting. And now, again, that makes it more of a Justice League film without being called Justice League. The Flash is the central character, but then it's not really his movie so much. The sequel would have to be his actual first movie, where it's just the Flash solving a crime and winning the day. But considering the mess that Warner Brothers finds itself in, that might be a solution for it. And so these sort of things are possible, and maybe not just a rumor, depending on how many characters they want to fit into a movie that would roughly be 2 hours, maybe a little more, give or take, and all of that. But it's supposed to release July 1st, 2022, with Ezra Miller as the Flash. So that's still the deal. He made his appearance on the CW show, which was the only cool thing about that crossover. But it acknowledges the multiverse and all of that. And so it clearly, to me, sees, yeah, this is where they're going. But the director said it's not going to be what you expect. And some of this gender swapping might be what he's referring to, rather than the overall plot, which the plot may basically be the same thing as the comic book. But I really doubt it will be as extensive as the comic book was, because there's only so much you can fit in a movie. And so, but hopefully the rumor of Aquaman and Wonder Woman being a part of it, oh man, that would be great. And then cherry on top, the Thomas Wayne Batman. Oh yeah. And then will it end where the Flash goes to the Batcave to meet with Batman? Batman turns around, takes his mask off, and it's Robert Pattinson. That sort of thing. The universe has been rebooted and it's changed, and the Batman you were introduced to with Ben Affleck no longer exists. Yeah. And in keeping with the comic book, the way it ended, very similar to that. Not that Batman looked different or what his costume was different, but as a result of what was happening in the reset, the Flash no longer remembered the original timeline, and so he didn't notice anything had changed. And that would be kind of a sad ending in a way to the film, but also rather interesting, and a great start for their reboot of these films. And of course, if Flashpoint is successful, I'm sure there would be 2 more Flash films. But anyway, there you go. You can expect this sort of thing. And so probably just a rumor in some pieces here, but it's possible that 1 or 2 of these is true. Wonder Woman versus Aquaman I hope really is true, but that might be a stretch. And but the idea that somebody's getting gender swapped in this film, and that seems likely in this day and age. But if it's part of the multiverse type deal, that might not be a bad thing in and of it, but I seriously doubt they're actually going to take a gender swap character that was originally male, changes to female, and then at the end goes back to being male. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Those are the rules. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. The Flash. Thank you for watching and listening. Say, why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my many stores and have plenty of goodies for you, including my comic book, Night Night, over at indieplanet.com. You can also catch the link to my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at radiomisfits.com, and you can also watch my videos over at BitChute. That's BitChute.com.